Welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble. Please stand by for the upcoming fight. This time Chaos will face up against the Dark Elves.
So welcome to another episode of Royal Rumble and thank you for tuning in. In this episode I'm playing with Chaos and I'm facing up against the Dark Elves. So quite interesting matchup over here, and also look at this map over here. It is beautiful. We have this subterranean map, these mystical, these beautiful forests over here, and it looks so great. And I hope that you enjoy this match over here. And yeah, let's start with my army composition. I have a front line of Chaos Marauders, and I think they are quite a cost-efficient unit. So you can deploy these guys for 375 credits, something like that, and they are shielded. They have, for that price, relatively spoken, quite good melee stats. So we have a melee attack of 34, melee defense okay. So they are quite cost efficient in my opinion. As I said, the armor is very low. This is the only big problem, of course, just 15, and the leadership is also not very high. So we have 65 over here, but this is already the buffed leadership. So we have a base value just of 60. So as I said, but you can increase the amount of units in your army, so they're quite cheap, and yeah, a good option always for Chaos, especially against other low-tier units, and if you would like to increase your army quantity. Then we have directly behind that Aspiring Champions, of course, to buff the leadership of my low-tier frontline over here. But also the Aspiring Champion itself perform quite good. They have quite good melee stats. They're very, very heavily armored, 120 over here. Their melee attack is 46 and the melee defense is 62, what is huge. And the weapon strength is 44, and the armor piercing amount is not very high. And also, of course, we don't have to forget they are just 12 models, so we have a very low or not so much hit points over here, but overall they perform quite well, especially of course against non-armored units or not so heavily armored units. Then we have Chaos Warriors with great weapons and my last line over here, and the Chaos Warriors with great weapons are, in my opinion, one of the most cost-efficient units in the complete game, infantry units in the complete game. Because the Chaos Warriors with great weapons trade quite even with nearly all other high-tier infantry units of other factions, like the Foot Squires. So the performance is quite good. And we don't have to forget that these guys are just a mid-range infantry unit of Chaos, so you can deploy them for 850 credits. And they perform very well, as I said, against other high-tier infantry units. So they perform so great, and I like them a lot, and very cost-efficient. Then we have a Giant, and of course my plan was to make my front line a little bit more steady over here, so I brought this Giant. And also a Colex Sun Eater, as always, or as all of you know, very strong lord, the strongest lord in the game. And yeah, that's everything from my side. Then let's go to my opponent over here. We have here hidden in the forest or in the trees these group of Shades with dual weapons. These guys are very expensive. I'm not sure what is the price, 1,200, 1,300 credits. Of course, this is a hybrid unit, a missile infantry unit and a missile melee combat unit. And the stats of the melee combat unit are also quite good. We have 40 melee attack, 36 melee defense, and 30 weapon strength. So for example, they can take out or send one unit of Chaos Marauders offline quite fast. So for example, they are really good stats for that. And we also here on the weapon strength, we have a real bonus versus infantry of 8, what is also quite good. And also the missile damage is very good, 34, and the armor piercing amount of that is 12, so they have armor piercing missiles. So overall the stats are very good, but as I said, it's quite expensive, and for the same price you can, for example, get Red Spears, Oblique Swords, and a unit of Dark Shots, for example. But as I said, I'm not an expert over here. I did not make any tests with them, and yeah, really elite missile infantry unit. Then on the left flank we have a unit of Cold War Knights. Just one unit, of course. We have a real anti-large bonus, but just one unit is not enough in my opinion. You always have to bring 2 in my opinion. Then let's go to the infantry corps. We have a Hagenev Executioners over here, a very elite infantry unit, and of course performing very well, especially against Chaos. So the performance is great and very good unit. Then we have Witch Elves over here on the back line. In the last line, Dark Shards. Then we have Black Orc Corsairs, 2 groups over here. Another group of Witch Elves, Dark Shards. Then we have a Dreadlord leading the Dark Elves. These Black Mamba, this War Hydra over here with this new mod, with reskin mod. Or it looks so pretty, so great over here. Black War Hydra. Then we have a Sorcerer with Law of Fire. Reaper Bolt Thrower in my last line, and yeah, that's everything. So I'm not sure with the Black Orc Corsairs, because the Black Orc Corsairs will get massacred from the Chaos Warriors with great weapons, but against the Chaos Marauders, they will perform very well. So the Chaos Marauders will get massacred from them quite fast. So this is a quite good pick against Chaos Marauders. But the question is, do you expect Chaos Marauders against Dark Elves? Probably not. So I'm not sure about this pick over here, but as I said, against me, especially in this game, they will perform quite well against my Chaos Marauders. Also the Witch Elves over here, and yeah, that's everything. Let's start the game. We'll not talk any longer. Set subterranean map over here, and you can see it's a long way to the other side. And also quite difficult over here because the end of the map is on each side quite close to the combat always. So if your units route off, they are the most of the time they will route off completely and leave the map. So it's quite difficult to fight over here. So I took some damage from the Reaper Bolt Thrower. But now I saw these shades over there in the forest hidden, and directly sent my colleague over here to activate a lot of the storm. But they actually took that much damage, just a little bit. But I would like to force them off, that they're not shooting on my front line, on my infantry, and yeah, force them away. But also I was careful not to overcommit over here, because there are Dark Shards and they have also armor-piercing missiles, and so yeah, take care of my colleague here and pull him away over here, so that he will not get engaged over here in a fight with Witch Elves and stuff like that. But now we can see over here my army is here, so I finally managed to walk all the way through the forest, and now we have a charge in, and that will be quite interesting. Firestorm over here, causing actually a lot of damage, or quite a good amount of damage to my Chaos Warriors. Now over here the charge in also from the Black Mamba, from the War Hydra over here, attacking my Chaos Warriors. So as I said, my Chaos Warriors, my Chaos Marauders have no good time over here. They will rout off, so you can see the first unit now rout off, and of course the Black Orc Corsairs perform so well against them. But now you can also see the Black Orc Corsairs get so much damage from my Chaos Warriors with great weapons, so they will get now massacred quite fast. And yeah, overall on the right side I was really able to break through over here in time, so really well you can see that everything routes off, and also his lord took so much damage from my colleague, you can see that, just a few hits and he routes off. Now Murder's Prowess kick in from my opponent, but on the left flank it runs really well from a Dark Elf opponent over here. We can see the Hagenev Executioners are so steady and performing so well against my Chaos Warriors. They rout off, he won everything on this side, Also, this combination with the Witch Elves is quite good. I see that, or I'm not sure, because the Witch Elves causing nearly no armor piercing, but of course all my units get on rampage or out of control. You can see that over here. So this ability is quite good, and as I said, maybe this combination is very strong. So I finally would like to also to break the spot on this side. So on the right flank I was able to force everything away to pull through over here, and on the left flank I lost the fight, and now I a little over committed with my colleague over here. You can see that gets now a lot of damage also from the dark shards in the back line, because they're causing armor piercing missiles, and the Witch Elves attacked my colleague. You can see he's now out of control, and this is a really dangerous situation. You can see he gets very low on health and also on leadership, and now routes off. But overall I was able to pull everything away and to overwhelm my opponent quite much. So this was a great match. I love that, the map, and this is also a quite interesting matchup. So I can say that the Chaos Marauders performed not so well. As I said, the Black Coursers can destroy them quite fast. Nearly every unit over here, so the Witch Elves also perform quite well against them because they have no armor. So I think this was a mistake from my side to bring them at all. So you can leave them out, in my opinion. So this was just a test also from my opponent, of course. One of the first matches, and I think they are not a good pick against the Dark Elves. Of course, the Chaos Warriors are must-have against the Dark Elves, performing so well. On the side of my opponent, I'm not sure. I think more Hagenef Executioners would be good. Of course, they are so expensive, and you will always get outnumbered from the great Chaos Warriors with great weapons, because your enemy can bring more of them, or Chaos can bring more of them, because they are cheaper, as I said. But more Hagenef Executioners would be good. Maybe also the Black God of Novgorod would perform quite well. I would bring Black God of Novgorod, especially against Koleg or Giants, but also against Chaos Warriors. So they should perform quite well. So I would prefer a mix of Hagenef Executioners and Black God of Novgorod. Of course, Witch Elves can always be in it. I'm not sure. And yeah, this is my opinion, but I'm not sure. We will see the next time, and yeah, thank you for tuning in, and have a nice evening. See you on the next episode. Thank you.